Top of the evening to everybody. How's everybody doing today? Man, this is summer solstice today. The longest day of the year is today. Some new energy is coming into to the atmosphere, and man, I would be mindful as to the attitude and the actions of what I'm doing. And it's a lot going on in the world. See, you know, let me show y'all something. You think for 1 minute, them people that's lost in that submarine ain't making some promises to God to be found? Think about that for a minute. Now you got $250,000 to pay to go on a trip, which means you got some money. You think for 1 minute, man, they ain't making some promises? God, if you get me out of this, if you give me one more chance, this is what I'll do. You think they ain't making no promise? You think their life is not flashing before them? You think they ain't sitting down now, going through? I mean, think about that, man. Think about that. That's a hell of a situation to be in. To be lost under the sea and don't know if nobody gonna find you or not. Don't know if you're gonna run out of air. And see, we don't know what the complications that have arisen. Man, what if somebody get down there? What's going on, Edward? Man, what if somebody get in that thing, man, and um, uh, well, if it's hard to hear, then you need to be get gone, man. Get gone. If it's hard to hear, I'm sorry. I'm sorry if it's hard to hear. Get gone. See you. Bye. Leave. Get out. Okay? Get out. Go get you some hearing aids. Since you can't hear. Everybody else can hear. So go get you some hearing aids. All right? Yeah, I know it. I know it. I know it. That because I'm just waiting for one more comment. I'm blocking. I ain't taking no bullshit today. I'm blocking everybody coming up in here with some crap. All right? But I want you to think about that for 1 minute, man. These are successful people that are lost in that submarine. You think they ain't making some promises to God? You think they ain't been trying to reach God? You think they ain't praying some prayers that they ain't never prayed before? Think about that, man. You lost. And Lord, don't let nobody panic in that machine, have an anxiety attack. What you gonna do now if somebody have an anxiety attack? So there's a whole lot that's going on with that, man, that people need to pay attention to. And see, and some folk, and see, this is how we take things for granted. That we gonna do something, and and it's gonna go as planned. And this showing you right now, man, everything that you plan ain't gonna go as planned. Okay? And one guy on there's a billionaire. You think he ain't making no promises to God? Give me one more chance. You think them people on that submarine ain't said, God, give me one more chance? You think they ain't asking for one more chance? Think about it, man. They're gonna come. Whoever come up out of that, if they come up out of there alive, none of them will never be the same. If they come up out of that water alive, they'll never be the same. You can't get that close to death and still keep your same attitude. Still live the same way you ain't gonna get that close to death. And it don't change you. Okay? And see, and this is what people got to realize. See, something, and remember I told y'all in the first chapter, they knew the risk. They knew it, and they took it for granted that everything was gonna be okay. That they're gonna go see the Titanic and they'll be just fine. They took that for granted. That everything was just gonna go the way it said that it was gonna go. And it didn't. And you don't think they ain't praying right now? You don't think they being converted right now? I mean, think about that, man. What would you do if you was in that situation? Think about that. What would you do? What kind of deals would you cut with God if he gets you out of this mess? Because at this point, that's the only one that can save them. It's an act of God. It's the only thing that can save them right now. And this is what, man, I told y'all, this is the first day of the summer solstice is today. The first day of the summer solstice. And the planets are moving backwards. They're retrograding, which means they're going backwards. And it's going to pull a whole different set of energy. All of this lying, cheating, and stealing, right is wrong, and wrong is right. That shit finna hit the fan, man. It's getting ready to hit the fan. There's getting ready to be a change in the atmosphere. And if you're paying attention, you can see it right now. Okay? You can see it. You know, I got this guy down at the White House that I don't know, he's jealous. I don't know what his jealousy is. But he's very jealous. And his thing is if Secret Service is not paying me to warn parents that to be mindful that their children are not trying to squeeze between the fence, that I shouldn't say anything if I'm not being paid. And see, and this is the problem in our community. You got a lot of people sitting on the sidelines, seeing things. And because they are not profiting from it financially, they keeping your mouth shut. Okay? They minding their business. And this is why all communities right now are screwed up. So yesterday, I said, you know what? Let me get this clown on video. I want to listen to this, y'all. Listen to this. Listen to this. Come on. Wait a minute. Listen to this. All right, parents, please be mindful, parents. Please be mindful. Okay, come on up here. You see, he said, you hear that? He's lying. He's lying. Now, 2 kids done breached that fence already. That's why they so sensitive about it. The first kid y'all heard about. The second one, they ain't tell nobody about that one. Okay, but 2 kids done breached that fence. All right? And his thing is, see, I can talk about this all day long. It ain't nothing gonna happen. All right, listen. Please be mindful. Okay, come on up here, brother, and tell me I'm lying. Come on up here, brother. Come on up here and tell me I'm lying. Because I got you on video. Come on. Come on, brother. Come on, tell me. Parents, please be mindful. trying to squeeze between the fence. All right? Please be mindful, parents. Now go ahead and tell them my mind, brother. Go on and tell them my mind. Okay? All right? I got you. Thank you. Appreciate that. And that's in front of Secret Service. He's doing that in front of Secret Service. Telling people I'm lying. Because I'm just trying to warn parents. Parents, it's embarrassing, man, to have the police walk up to your family and correct you about one of your children, something one of your children's doing. That's embarrassing. At least as a parent, to me, it would be embarrassing. If I'm visiting somewhere and out of all of the hundreds of people that's at the fence, police got to come to me about my children on the fence. That's embarrassing. So I be trying to save parents the embarrassment. And not only save them the embarrassment, but also the fact that if Secret Service ain't got to worry about that fence, they can keep an eye on the people. See, that fence ain't gonna snap and hurt nobody. But these crazy people will. And see, this is a woman the other day, what's today, Tuesday? Sunday, yesterday, butterball naked. Butterball naked. In the park. Butterball naked. They ain't have a stitch of clothes on. So they ain't have a stitch. That's what people bring their problems to the White House. And they act like can't nobody come to the White House and snap. Can't nobody bring their problems to the White House. And I'm saying, man, free up that fence. Child-proof it. So Secret Service ain't got to worry about it. And they can keep an eye on the crowd. And see, listen, normally when you put some strips, you're going to set it in like so they rest. But see, what they need to do is turn this upside down and let it clamp like this. So anytime somebody puts some pressure on it, try to stand on it, all it's going to do is fall out. Okay, see, that's how you prevent them from trying to use the fence to get leverage to get to the top. If you're standing against it and you're pushing it along like this here, it ain't going to give. But if you try to stand on it, all it's going to do is collapse. And that's how they child-proof the fence. And see, and you can have a sensor so that anytime one of them fall up, you know exactly where it is. You ain't got to guess and wonder. See, and that's freeing up all of them bicycle officers, all of the 2 or 3 Secret Service. See, cause man, it's some people out here smart enough to use that fence as a diversion. It's some people out here smart enough, knowing they sensitive about that fence, to use it as a diversion to get the jump. And I'm just saying, man, child-proof the fence. That's all Secret Service got to do. Child-proof the fence. And you can keep your eyes now on the people. And they ain't got to be really worried about that fence. Because can't no kids get through. Because it's child-proof. And see, and if one do get through, you know it's deliberate. Okay? If a child do crawl, you know that's deliberate. And them the ones you detain. Okay? But if they just standing up there, long as they pushing against it, it ain't gonna move. Somebody try to stand on it, it's gonna collapse. And that's how you child-proof the fence. And that's just my little suggestion. See, let me tell y'all something. When you know how to serve, man, you'll spot all kind of needs. When you truly know how to serve, you'll spot needs. And that's all. And all success is being successful, fulfilling a need. That's all success is. You successful at fulfilling a need. That's all an idea is a need being filled. And see, you got some people that specialize in negative needs, the porn, the prostitution, the the stealing, the underground market, the black market. See, that's what they specialize in. Is it that's what all success is fulfilling a need. And you got a need on the negative side and you got a need on the positive side. And unfortunately, more people find success with on the negative side than they do the positive side. See, that's what we got to change now. See, you got to be able to be successful being positive. And here's the mistake a lot of people gonna make. You're gonna have a lot of folk running out here wanting to be life coaches, guiding people, and it's all gonna be about the money. And I'm gonna tell you how you gonna know it's gonna all be about money. Because all of the examples that they use is on somebody else's life. They can never tell you an example of what they're talking about on their own life. They always got to use someone else's life as an example. You can Google that. And they'll charge you as a life coach using somebody else's life as an example. Because 9 times out of 10, what they telling you about ain't nowhere to be found on their life. They've never gone through it. They've never experienced it. But you trusting them to be a life coach. And they ain't never experienced. See, they can't tell you what it's like to live in a hotel because they don't know. They have to use somebody else's life that has lived in a hotel as an example. And see, and they're making you think they are experts at this information. And that's something you can go Google. And see that's something you can Google. You're going to have a whole lot of people out here wanting to be life coaches, man. And they ain't got nothing on their resume to show you, man, this is what, you got some people that been in the trenches for a long time. Them the ones that's going to be ignored. Them ones that's jumping at the opportunity for the money, they'll be successful. But the people that's been doing it from their heart because it's the right thing to do to keep it alive, see, it's a whole lot of people jumped on the Juneteenth bandwagon. And they don't even know that before we were free, we had established the first black bank, Freedmen's Bank. See, they talking about June 19th, 1865, but in April of 1865, we opened up the first black bank in New York City. And it didn't last but for 9 years. See, just like Black Lives Matter, Juneteenth is nothing but a political correct phrase to say. I do Black History DC. I didn't book one tour. And I'm one of only two, it ain't but two of us in town that specialize in Black history. And I know I didn't see him at the White House, because normally his tours come through the White House during the day. I don't see him that often. When I'm sitting there, I see him every now and then, but I don't see him often. And he been at it longer than me. 19, 20, since the 90s. He's been doing this by himself. And after a while, man, this will wear you out. And he's not passionate like me about mine. I'm passionate about mine because this is my creation. This something came out, this big head, and I'm trying to make it work. I keep telling y'all, man. If I wanted to sell some dope, I could have been a drug dealer, man. I could have probably been one of the biggest weed dealers in D.C. if I wanted to be, but that's cheating. I'm trying to do it the right way, man, for my own creativity, for my God given creativity. That's what I'm trying to make it, man, off my God given creativity. That's all I'm trying to do. And I get demonized because I dream big, because I think big. I get demonized, because I want to own my own dinnerware factory. I get demonized for that. I come up with my dinnerware idea. I get demonized, man. And see, this one of my set of dishes right here. I get demonized for this because I want to own my own factory. You see, so and I got history with that. You see, and that's another thing. People need to start looking at what kind of history do people have with what they trying to tell you or sell you. What kind of history they got with it? See, and we need to stop being emotional, man. You know, they're that's one of the things that's that's keeping us divided. We too emotional. We want to get emotional about each the least little bitty thing, and it's not worth it. Somebody is gonna have to be the bigger person. This is what I just realized the other day. Instead of like today, man, I went and bought some bulbs for my car, and the lady quoted me one price, and she went and got the bulbs. And when she saw my car, she came back with some more expensive bulbs. You know, and I was a little offended, and I said, you know what? I talked to God. I said, all right, God, I don't like the way she lied to me first. And then, she put some grease with the stuff as well. So it's this little $15. And at first I left and I was gonna take it back. And I said, no, you know what? I'm gonna be the bigger man. I'm not gonna get in a fence over that. Even though I think I was wrong, I'm not gonna get in a fence. Okay? I'm gonna be the one to walk away. And that's one of the things that, I'm consciously making myself aware of is to be the bigger person. When I'm confronted with a situation now that can be volatile, I have in my mind now, be the bigger person. Be the bigger person, man. Walk away. Be the bigger person. Let them get in their glory or think they have, because I'm telling you, with this new energy, what you putting out is what's going to come back. If you put negativity out, that's what you're going to get back. If you putting positivity out, that's what you're going to get back. and you can't do both. You're gonna have to do one or the other. Because if you try to straddle the line, all you're gonna get is confusion. That's all you're gonna experience. You trying to be on one side positive and you got one foot in the negative, all you're gonna get back is confusion. That's all you're gonna get. And self-doubt and worry and anxiety. Because you ain't sure. You got to be one or the other. And that's what we're gonna have to make our minds up what we're gonna do. Like I told y'all, man, you know, we take so much for granted. That's all over the world, man. People take a lot of stuff for granted. They take for granted tomorrow for granted. They think they have tomorrow. And you might not. This might be the last day. You think them people on that submarine didn't have some plans when they came back? You think they wasn't gonna celebrate when they got back? You think they wasn't gonna celebrate that? They wasn't gonna brag about that? And look, and that could be their deathbed. That one trip right there that they were so excited about, that they were so enthused about, that they done told all their friends about, could be their deathbed. 250,000 a person. That's 1,250. That's $1,250,000. That's expensive coffin, man. That's an expensive coffin. And that's what, I hope this not what it turns out to be. But that's an expensive coffin. It really is. And I just pray, man, I never be put in a situation like that where I got to be really praying to God and see, and it's even worse if you don't know God. How do you ask somebody for help that you really don't even know, that you don't respect, that you don't abide by the rule? How do you go and ask them for help? So it's some interesting times right now. It's some real interesting times, and people. I bought a seeded watermelon in Walmart today. I said, "Damn, they got some watermelon with seeds. Let me get one of them." I got me a watermelon with some seeds today. I ain't had no watermelon in I don't know how long. But I sure got me one today, man. I sure got me one today. I did. And I'm gonna enjoy that joint too. But that's just my little take, man. I just try to be involved, y'all. I just try to participate. If I can see where, I can help without being harmful, and that's and it's ingenuous for me to sit in front of the White House every day with a speaker and a microphone and know Secret Service is real sensitive about that fence and not tell people, not try to warn them. I shouldn't have to get paid for that. I would like to, but who knows? Don't nobody know what gonna come out of that idea. And like I just gave them an idea how they can childproof that fence. I don't know if they'll accept it or not, but that's what they need to do. They need to childproof that fence so they can take that off the plates of the officers that are there. So now they can really focus on the crowd. Because I'm telling you, man, it's getting ready to get crazy. And we need to start preparing ourselves. And the one way they can prepare and see, because I'm there every day, I'm at risk too. If somebody come down there and snap, we all are at risk. You see, and I'm crazy. I need to mind my business because I'm trying to help keep it safe for all of us. Because ain't no place safe. And we can't take it for granted. Just because it's in front of the White House, there ain't nobody crazy enough to come down there and snap. See, we can't take that for granted. I'm not taking it for granted. And if they do, I pray that that's the day I'm not there. Simple as that. I pray, man, if somebody do snap in front of the White House, it ain't a day that I'm there. That's my prayer. Okay? And people right now are crazy. So they'll do anything. All right? And I see y'all later.